across the Pacific is officially over. We got a beautiful sunrise. We're doing pretty good speed. 6.2. We were just doing 7 a little bit ago. 6-7 over ground right there for a second. And we're about 93 miles out of La Cruz. Doing pretty good time, but we had a little bit of an upset last night. We went to go try to make water. We left without any water in our tanks because I figured we'd make water out here where the water's a little cleaner. The generator failed to start. And I tried bleeding all the fuel lines and going through a couple different things. Yeah, no luck there. So that's a kind of big uh-oh, because we don't even have any water in the tanks. And yeah, we got stuff to figure out because we can't really make water without the generator. We can, you know, if we have some really good sun for a few days, then we can make it off of solar, but we're kind of depleted on solar too because we've been leaving the inverter on so that we can monitor everything on the boat, because La Cruz is not the safest crime place in the world. So we're a little bit screwed right now, but I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yes, that's right. Within 24 hours, we had a huge uh-oh. And our trip toggled between turning back around, since we were just a day away, or fixing this ASAP and continuing on. What a daunting pickle to be in. Definitely freaking out. I feel like we're going the wrong direction. I had this intuitive feeling that we should have just taken the extra cleaning to the filter and just filled up the tanks to the top to just be kind of peace of mind that you have a lot of water starting this journey. If we can't figure this out by tomorrow morning, we got to turn around. Which, in a way, it's half. Like, thank goodness we're just a day sail away from Puerto Vallarta and we can just go back. But also kind of sad that, like, wow, we haven't even made it 24 hours and we have to turn back. But that's all right. We'll see. Connor's very smart and he is probably pulling his hair out, freaking out a little bit. But I have faith. He's also staying really calm, so it's kind of keeping me calm. But TBD, we'll let you know what happens.
The tank is not half full or half empty.
It's empty.
It's all the way empty.
Yeah, it's empty. I like that you're laughing. We shall see. Top of the morning. I had a very uneventful watch, and I think I was just sitting with a little bit of that worry of, are we going to get this generator started? And we were going to next, like today, decide, are we turning around or what's going to happen? We're also like another day or two away from some of the islands outside of Mexico, San Benedicto, Socorro, and Clarion. So technically we could stop there and see if we can fix it there, but Connor's been slaying down there, and I am happy to say, I don't know if you can hear it in the background. What'd you do, Connor?
I fixed the generator.
Ah, he fixed it!
We're making water and drinking beer. Well, that was one of the most stressful things that could have possibly happened, because without the generator, we don't really make water, and we did not fill up water, so we were literally out of water within the first like 6 hours of our sail. And the generator wouldn't start, so we were freaking out a little bit. I ended up, when I did the flush on the coolant system, On the raw water system, I just pumped through and I didn't disconnect the elbow from the exhaust. And supposedly, after talking to Jason, thank you Jason, the exhaust is what pumps out all of the raw water out of the whole system. So without the exhaust pushing it out, what I did was just fill that whole exhaust can full of water, and then that ended up backflowing into the cylinder and vapor locking the whole diesel there. So I took out the glow plugs and turned it over a few times, sprayed some WD-40 in there, turned it over a few more times. I was actually only able to get 2 out of 3 of the glow plugs out without doing some major work. So I just did those 2, ended up cracking the other one. Hopefully we got some of it out. After doing all that, it ended up starting right up and she's purring away, charging our batteries, and I'm just about to go start making some water. So we're back on track, baby.
And then, while Connor's making water, we had a ton of bags of rice that were kind of like our emergency stack, like underneath the freezer right by the like water maker, and Connor put it in a garbage bag to protect. These bags is what we bought, and then they were in a big garbage bag. And while we were making water, we had an overflow and water went everywhere. And unfortunately, I don't know if you can see, there is water in this. So all these bags of rice are currently wet. Thankfully, we have a ton of other rice, so this is kind of the emergency stash.
We are feeding the fish.
Here's about half of all the rice we're gonna have to get rid of, so I'm gonna have Connor throw this over.
Fish eat other fish, and then if they have rice with that fish, then it becomes
sushi!
Sushi! We'll have to teach them how to do the seaweed wraps too.
I'll show you something that is kind of cool. I don't know. Oh, on a sailboat, you gotta like, you know, take into consideration garbage, and I really didn't want to buy these like individual like small packs of rice, but they are super nice because it is just Connor and I. Normally it takes us like almost like probably a few weeks, if not a month, to eat one of these bags. So we thought, okay, that's kind of fine to have them in small bags. Then you can kind of spread them around into all the little nooks and crannies of the boat instead of having like a ginormous bag. But unfortunately, all of these are wrapped in plastic. But something that I've been doing, or I guess I will be doing, ugh, that was fish in that one. But so this is like our nasty one. And so, oh God, that's gnarly already. I'm just gonna stuff these bags into them. I'm gonna close it right now because that stinks. But all the plastic we can stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff inside here, and so you can fit quite a lot of plastic, and it gets compact instead of having like a garbage bag. And you don't want like those vacuum sealed bags of fish. I wouldn't want to have in the garbage, and then the garbage just stinks for the next month. So it's nice to have them in an airtight, and then you don't have to worry about it stinking. I'm spilling rice everywhere.
It's fun.
Bon appetit! Look at the water, it's so blue, and Connor washed his hair, it's blowing in the wind. Sailing, baby! We were just doing like 7.5 knots. Connor just allowed us to go more of a beam reach, so we're going like 6.5 knots, but it's a lot more comfortable. Good job.
Thank you. Hope you enjoy being able to stand on the ground, not on the wall.
The water's so blue. Thriving! Thriving! Woo! Let's just keep sailing in circles around the Pacific. Now that the generator was back in action, we were back on Cloud 9, taking this whole journey in, a voyage we have been dreaming about since our youth when reading the book Dove by Robin Lee Graham.
got the sunrise. Looks like it's gonna be another beautiful day. A little more swell than yesterday. It'll be a swell day.
Ever since picking up anchor, the sails were full. No need for the noisy motor, and we were slowly adjusting to our new lives at sea, out in this blue oasis.
Just a bunch of little baby dolphins.
Lots of things have improved in day 2. Our chair has turned into an official lounge. It is so comfortable. A little bit too comfortable for night watches, so you have to set alarms so you don't completely fall asleep. And then to protect us from the sun, I actually just brought this all the way down, so it's almost like we have an enclosed Dodger, and just tied it off to the Dodger right here. So I got this like nice little bubble. I'm just in. Connor's taking a nap, and I'm about to try to teach my first client of this whole entire trip. So we'll see how it goes, see how Starlink does as I turn it on. Hopefully it stays connected. 48 hours in, all about. Feeling good?
Well, we've had a pretty good wind all day today, but we kind of got a little bit tired of rolling, and we weren't making that good a speed because we were pretty heeled over. We were getting up to 18, 20 degree heel. Put a couple reefs in the main, but we're doing 5.8 right now, so that's pretty good. And I can turn us off the wind a little bit, and we'll go a little bit faster. And yeah, I think we're finally just settling into it. We were thinking about stopping by Benedicto Island. We're gonna get there at like 2 in the morning though, so I think we might end up skipping it. But we're gonna stay high over Socorro Island because that kind of shades the wind. If we stay high, we'll hopefully be able to keep the wind the whole way, and then we'll kind of start rounding south a little bit and start going with the waves and wind a little bit more. I'm sure the camera won't do it justice, but this water is just incredibly blue. It's got a good amount of swell today.
Hello. All right, safety first. I know a lot of people had a lot to say when we were up on the deck last time, but I will have to add, we were in very calm conditions. I take this very seriously. I will never want to fly over the deck, so we take safety very sexy because it's we take safety very seriously because it's sexy. I am all strapped in, got my jack line and everything. The one time that we didn't have it when we were crossing Sea Cortez is it was really calm. Towards the very end, I pretended I was scared, and then we finally eventually got off the deck, and I said, let's go back in the safety of the cockpit, but we were fine. Let's show you a little bit of the sunset. Camera. Oh man, I was gonna sleep in these shorts. I don't think that's gonna happen.
And the sun's coming up. I'm a little sad we didn't stop at the island. I was kind of hoping we would stop at San Benedicto and maybe do some snorkeling out there, but at least we are cruising at almost 7 knots, 6.5, and you know, we were a little nervous that we would lose the wind, but it seems to be holding up, so continuing on, holding on strong. beautiful the blue water is. Connor said he saw a dolphin, but I don't see any. Maybe they'll come back. Wow, he's a big guy! Spinnaker is still up. When you look at a map, you see the Pacific Ocean and how grand it is. But it's hard to conceptualize the vastness as you stand there on a sailboat. Looking at this majestic blue in every direction, it's overwhelming with just how gigantic this ocean really is. Filled with such mystery, and here we were, just us, creating a rapport with it, hoping it would accept us, embrace us, and ultimately be kind to us.
Well, night 4 here. I actually had to wake up Malvina for an emergency because I was having dreams while I was awake. So I needed to get some REM sleep, so I had her take my shift for me, and she was a trooper. She came out here and did it all. We're flying the Spinnaker right now, so it's a little bit extra attention intensive. Yeah, we're flying along pretty well. We're doing 6.4 knots and 11.4 knots of wind, and it's great Spinnaker sailing. We do keep having super variable winds, so it keeps dropping down to 7, which is why we kept up the Spinnaker, because if that happens with our Genoa, then we're just flogging all these big heavy things. So I'd rather just have this light sail to kind of keep flying and hopefully not chafing and breaking things so much. Before we left, one other sailor in the anchorage recommended that you change your position on your Spinnaker, even if it's just a little bit, all the time. Change your position on all your sails, kind of, and just to keep from chafing, because you might be holding the same position for so long that eventually that spot in that rope will just start chafing, and then you'll end up losing your Spinnaker in the water or something like that. So we'll do that probably in the morning, I think.
If you have ever tried making coffee while sailing, you will know it's quite the mission.
Almost knocked it over there.
But as coffee enthusiasts, we are proud to say we have perfected a few tricks on the gimbaled oven and have, over the entire passage of 23 days, only spilled 3 entire cups and broken only 1 glass French press.
Sometimes it's really hard to trust this. You keep wanting to save it because it looks like it's going to fall over, and it totally does compared to where I'm standing at. But it's actually staying perfectly level. Perfect, but pretty good.
Connor put this little block here, this tack line was like pretty much hugging the port side of the boat. And so I told Connor, I said, it might chafe if we do that. He said, no, we'll be fine. It chafed. Wait, can you see this? It is so hard to see in this sunshine. I am losing it. Ay, ay, ay. Thankfully, we got a Venture and Dyneema we can swap this out for if need be.
Five days into our voyage, things got super sporty. 18 to 24 knots of wind started to blow, with gusts between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. hitting 24 to 29 in a heartbeat. Not to forget the swell packed a punch as well. Our spinnaker champagne sailing was transformed into what we started referring to as tequila sailing, a washing machine, thrashing you around unpredictably. Still a whole lot of fun, just a little rough around the edges.
Debrief with Malvina. What did we see last night?
I haven't been really recording that much because, well, maybe because I just sit in a little stress ball in my little captain chair because, yeah, I think winds were variable going into last night. I think Connor was seeing like 17 to 22, right?
Now we're seeing 24.
And then, of course, as soon as he goes down, the low I saw was 22 and the high was 29. We definitely... It's a little bit of a roller coaster ride out here. I did film a little bit of the waves. It is... yeah, definitely crazier than we thought it was going to be, but I don't know, maybe I'm getting used to it. I'm like, oh, it's nice. I know. I hope it mellows down just a touch, because yeah, we gotta kind of change our direction because the wind kind of swoops down, so it's like really pushing us west. At one point it almost like started wrapping us north, and so it brought us a little bit more downwind. So that's all.
That's
You're gonna
all.
get all wet.
Some nice tropical sailing out here. Look at this. Whee!
God.
It looks like we're in Antarctica.
Fasten your seatbelts.
All right, we're finally at the point where we should be going more downwind. We're wing on wing.
Yeah, if we keep going in this direction, we're just gonna get ourselves into some more red, and we try to avoid red on the wind forecast. So try to go direct downwind, do a little wing on wing, and
But we just got to move the preventer to the other side so the boom can swing this way, since the whisker pole is holding the head sail on that side. So we got the main all the way in. Connor's switching the preventer.
up we go
Hook yourself in.
to the jack line.
I'm pretty sure that's where you clip in. It is a roller coaster ride out here. I hate watching him go up there. But thankfully it's a simple one we gotta do. Quick little flop, but he will have to go all the way up the bow and around. Holding on to the line with his teeth. Classic. Crossover to the bow and around. Goodness gracious, I hate when he goes behind the dinghy and I can't see him. Get back here.
squid. Careful. More squid? Oh, lots of squiddies. Hold on.
But we're winging it, you know.
Got our wing on wing. It is very rolly.
Quite rolly, but it's better, I think, than
Yeah.
it was, right?
I agree.
And we're going in the right direction, so that helps.
That helps a lot too.
3 seconds later.
Wing's so fun.
Yeah, you like wing on wing, Connor? What are you doing down there?
Just rearranging everything. We got things falling out of places we didn't even know we had. Really doing the shake test on the old girl.
We've been on a port side tack. Look how much the camera is swinging. We've been on a port side tack for too long. Everything that has been pinned to the port is now on the starboard side or the ground or
I tried not to get my hopes up for, like, you know, perfect sailing, but I thought trade wind sailing was supposed to be a little bit nicer than this. This is just a little bit kind of, I would guess Northern California sailing, you know? It's cold, it's rolly.
I took off my puffer, so we're getting warmer.
Yeah.
Connor, what happened yesterday to your lure?
We lost another cedar plug, so we're down to 2 left. And the funny thing about the cedar plugs is they don't really allow you to add a steel leader unless you do kind of custom one like I did here.
Hold on.
I wish I would have kept this setup for the cedar plug, because these ones worked because you crimp them on yourselves, so you can slide that through and get it on the hook. Otherwise, it comes with this crappy monofilament leader that we lost a few of them on those, so I don't really want to throw those in the water without a steel leader on it. So this is what we're working with for today. I'm gonna take off that stupid little feather thing that the guy gave me in Cabo, and we've been dragging her all around Mexico and haven't got even a nibble on that thing. I'm gonna turn the one long hand line into 2 short hand lines, and we'll see how we do. 'Cause, yeah, we're running low on the 150-pound test now. We've lost quite a bit of stuff here. We've only got 1 fish.
And what happened? Will you tell them what happened yesterday?
So I was taking a nap, and Malvina was reading a book, not paying attention to the fishing lines. Not that that was her job.
It was my job.
As soon as I come out of the companionway, I just hear this big explosion. The fishing line was just wrapped all around the whole dinghy davit system. It just was spaghetti everywhere. And then I look out and I see this giant mahi jumping out of the water like he just got free and he was taunting me. Not nice.
Doesn't that sound like a true fisherman story?
Of course.
I think he was hallucinating.
All right.
What were you gonna say?
Off we go.
Okay, go catch that mahi that's out there just swimming behind you,
now
waiting to take a
The
nibble.
Old Man in the Sea, Malvina's been reading.
I just finished that book last night. You
need
need to
start
set
paying more.
you need to set an alarm so we can hear it. Your beer can,
I've been trying. The beer can doesn't work.
because it's too rough, it just rattles around.
Better tripwire for the beer can to then start rattling.
Okay, nervous.
Yeah, it just, you know, it's a lot of
We just
stuff
need a
going
check.
on.
Connor,
Well, of
what's
course,
happening?
We try and do projects on the rolliest day of the year. But
Excuse me.
God bless. Inside the shower, it was leaking, and I was trying to figure out where that was, and I was first thinking it was down here and whatever. It ended up being inside behind here, and we have a funky little autopilot little control selector. So if we wanted to override the autopilot and just do by wheel only, we can do that from over here. It's a funny little valve. As I'm in there cleaning all that up to try and figure out where that leak is, I find this. What could it be?
Just random pieces.
And then I was like, where the hell could that have come from? And it turns out it is the same exact size as all of these bolts for this massive winch right here, but they're all on there. So hopefully someone just, you know, dropped them down there and got new ones, put them on. What do you guys think?
I hope so. Autopilot's fine.
Still working,
So-
but yeah. You know, everyone always says, if it's gonna happen out there. Never happens when you're close to shore, when you can get parts, when you can, you know, get some hydraulic lines made or something like that. So what we're hoping is that this is an old leak that, you know, we've probably filled up a little cavity somewhere. We've been healed over pretty gnarly for the past, what, 5 days almost, right? We've been on kind of a beam reach the entire way out here. Yeah, hitting like 20-degree heels a lot of the time. So hopefully it was just that excessive heel was shaking out kind of remnants that were left over from an old leak and not a new leak. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll let you know.
What's happening over here?
Our wing on wing is working great.
It was working really great. It was having a
actually has
moment.
been most of the day.
Just has its moments when the waves come. What kind of science are we doing today?
We're the best kind of science, sail science.
Sail science.
I don't know if the real sail scientists would agree that it's science. It's more just dicking around, but you know, we're having fun. We're setting up all kinds of weird configurations right now, and I think I'm going to try to use the staysail. First of all, we've never tried this staysail out before at all. Oh, it's tiny. Look at that guy. That's fun. So cute.
It is cute. It looks so easy to be handled.
Cutest little sail ever. I can't believe we even have an English military for that.
Are we sailing faster?
It seems like we're sailing way fast.
The storm jib we hoisted here seemed to help funnel some of the wind into the genoa to keep the sail full. And we also tightened the main sheet, which stabilized the boat from rocking back and forth so much. And doing so, we were able to keep the same speed, if not better, and a much more comfortable ride.
Our first friend. Hey, Betty. Are you trying to get a free ride, huh? What are you doing out here? You're pretty far from land. So I named our little birdie Bobby. Bobby the bird. He's still hanging out. He's taking a little nap right there. So we're gonna let him close his eyes. Enjoying the stars and the bioluminescence in the water. It is time for sleepy sleep.
Thanks for sailing away with us. Next episode, we dive into week 2 out at sea, where the trade winds mix with some messy swell. And our hand lines, well, let's just say they catch everything except fish.
So I have officially quit fishing. We're going to be spearfishers only.
This is by far the craziest night of sailing. I think we're on day 8. I think we're about 1,200 nautical miles into this about 3,000 mile journey.
If you love watching our videos and feel like contributing to our journey, here's our Venmo. Whether it's buying us a beer, maybe a honeymoon gift, or helping to make Alivo an even more seaworthy vessel than she already is, all donations are truly appreciated and not taken lightly. Or if you feel like subscribing to our Patreon, check the link in the description below. Now make it a great day, and thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.